Alright, welcome back.
Somebody else says ha. Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
Don't encourage the copyright claim.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
There's too much time to know where the fucking life is pain. Oh, under the sea.
Nintendo, don't sue.
This is Disney. Nintendo, don't sue me. Nintendo, don't sue me.
Oh. Talking to somebody about like how Nintendo and Disney sue about like anything.
Oh my god, they will literally, if you look at them wrong, they will sue you, I swear to god.
And I was talking to them about it and they were like, really? And I'm like, yeah. That's why everybody on YouTube can't make Nintendo videos, because everybody just gets their sued out the wazoo.
You know, they don't anymore. Well,
but you had to
they don't as much as they were.
You had to be part of like an exclusive club to be able to make Nintendo content.
They stopped that because they realized like how bad that was for them, because they were getting huge backlash for it.
Yeah,
so
like
they eventually
even
were
from
like,
just a PR space, that's like a terrible.
Yeah. Well, that came from a different time though. That came from when they were making the Wii U, and then the Switch came out and became a smash hit, and they were just like, everything is cool. But like, the Wii U was losing them fistfuls of money, and they were just like, how about anyone who makes a video about us needs to give us money? How's that for a fucking solution to our problem? And no one sat down and was like, yeah, maybe that's a terrible fucking idea. It's like,
I mean, Nintendo is Nintendo, so...
I won't say anything about a lot of the big Japanese game producers, but what I will state is that most of them have no fucking clue how the world works.
Yeah.
And, like, it's consistent, because you got, what, fucking Konami makes pachinko machines instead of games now. Because,
so weird.
Fuck it. Sega consistently would come up with ideas that its American branch would be like, fucking no. That's a fucking terrible idea. Which then just made the Japanese branch hate the American branch to the point where they just removed more and more power of the American branch until, hey, what do you know, their console division went out of business. I can't imagine why that happened. Fucking...
It's one of those things, it's just like, really?
Dude, if you believe all the stories, which I do because there's not a good reason for them to lie about most of this stuff, because it doesn't make them look good. Fucking, you know the N64?
Yes.
That was gonna be the Sega N64.
Oh!
Because the company that made the 3D processor in the N64 was an American company, so they went to the American branch of Sega to discuss putting it in their console. But the Japanese branch of Sega had already kinda started the Sega Saturn, so they were just like, it needs improvements. So they would go and improve the chip, and then they'd be like, nah, it still needs improvements, it's not good enough for us. So they made it better. Yeah, they were stalling them out, and then eventually they had to be like, alright, fine, this isn't gonna work out, you're gonna have to go find someone else. And they found Nintendo with their now twice improved chip because of Sega stalling.
Twice improved?
Yeah, because they kept being like, it's not good enough for us, it needs to be better. So they would make it better and then bring it back to them and be like, how about now? And they were like, nah, still not good enough.
Yeah.
So it's like, hilarious! Anyway.
So it's like, yeah, your stalling gave one of your competitors the best thing in life.
Yeah, and I mean, in all fairness, the N64 didn't do really well either, because the PlayStation fucking destroyed the concept of making a game console. Yeah. Best-selling game console of all time until the PS2.
Which I actually love that.
Like, I was talking to, because I was talking to my buddy Caleb, and I'm like, every third console is an absolute fucking bomb fire. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, Sega Saturn, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, fucking Wii U. Technically that's the 6th console, but I argue it's every 3 consoles.
Yeah.
They just have a bomb. Like N64, and he was like, the N64 did well. I'm like, no, the N64 did horrible. It only did well because the Sega Saturn was still a thing, and it did worse. Like, when the PlayStation 1 sells more copies than the Sega Saturn and the N64 combined, you made a shitty console.
You love it?
Oh yeah, man. I think the PS1 sold more than double like both consoles. This
is great.
Like it's ridiculous. And it's because Sony figured out, hey, we can sell this shit to everyone if we focus on 3D graphics and also market it towards 17-year-olds, because everyone wants to be 7. That was literally their marketing strategy, was everyone wants to be 17. When you're a kid, you want to be 17 because that's when you're old and cool. And when you're an adult, you wish you were 17 because that's when life was not as suck-ass. And that's how they sold the console.
I actually love that.
And it really shows, because before that, fucking Nintendo and Sega were focused strictly on selling their consoles to kids. Except for Sega, who strictly focused on selling their consoles to, like, teens. But they weren't focused on trying to get the adults. And that's where Sony was just like, hey, if we focus...
everybody!
Yeah, they were like, hey, if we focus this towards adults, they're the ones with the real money.
Yeah, because it's just like you have to convince your parents to get something. But adults can just get it.
Yeah, Sony was convincing adults to buy their console.
Yeah.
And the adults don't need to convince their parents to buy them shit. They just buy it.
They already have adult stuff.
It's... I forget what it was, but it was someone was talking about this thing, and it was like those like collector items that like no one needs or really cares about except for the people that collect them, and he's just like, and the comment was like, "This is what happens when children grow up and get adult money."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
true.
100%.
Like, I look at it, and like, I like Monster Hunter, but I don't see a need to shell out $200 for a really cool model.
Yeah.
Some people do.
But some people do.
So...
And those people know what they're doing. I was, you know what's funny? I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was just like... He was like, how the fuck do furries have so much money? And I'm like, what are you talking... Because I was like, I was so taken off guard. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And he's like, they're fursuits. They're like minimum $3,000 a suit. And they go up in price like considerably quick. And he's like, how the fuck do they have that kind of money for that? Like, what the fuck are they doing where they have that much money where they can blow $3,000 on a fursuit? And I just went, oh, you're misunderstanding. It's not that they have a ton of money. It's that they don't care about blowing $3,000 on a fursuit.
Yeah.
Because to them, that's a good investment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's what happens when adults grow up. It's what happens when children grow up and get adult money. They can blow it on whatever stupid shit they want.
I was talking to somebody, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I was able to do this. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you don't use your money to do normal things. Like, you don't buy that much food. But, you know, you still gotta... You just blow it on video games and, like, small hobby things. That's how you have so much money.
Yeah, right? It's like when all I'm paying for is food, water, and a place to sleep. You'd be amazed how much money you can blow on stuff you want.
People are like, how do you have the money to buy a new computer when you just bought one? And I'm just like, because I don't use it for... I don't smoke or I don't drink, so that saves me tons of money.
It saves me a lot of fucking money. Dude, not smoking alone saves so much money now because it's like $10 a pack, $12 a pack, I think now.
$12 a pack for cheap stuff.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's like, man, if you're younger and you're watching this and you smoke, try quitting early because, trust me, you're gonna want that money later.
Yeah. It's so funny when people tell me who smoke I'm being wasteful with my money, and then I'm just like, don't tell me that. You're the one smoking.
Dude, everyone is wasteful with their money from the point of view of people who don't actually know what you're doing with your money.
Yeah. I just love it when people who smoke tell me I'm wasting my money on stuff, and I go, that's the person who's smoking.
Yeah, fucking...
Gotta love that.
Dude, I can't tell you how many people I know who are just like... They just buy, you know, smokes or drinks all the fucking time. Like, at least, like, every other day. And then they're just like, you gotta start thinking about how you're spending your money, and I'm just like, what do you fucking mean? What do you mean? Don't
you tell me what to do.
Explain to me in vast detail how I'm fucking not using my money appropriately. I want a fucking broken out fucking spreadsheet of my expenses and where I can be saving money, you motherfucker.
Don't you love when
We
people are like,
want to play that fucking... I want full spreadsheet.
yeah, don't tell me I'm wasting my money.
Is there shit that I spend money on that I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have spent money on this? Sure. But I can tell you right now that that shit's under $100 a week. Well under 100 a week.
Like, I literally, I completely get that, and it's just like, oh my god. Yeah, like, I spent $100 yesterday, and I was just like, I haven't spent money on these in 3 years. Okay.
Like, I'll buy, like, a figure that's, like, $20 after, like, 6 months of not buying literally anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I spent $100 on cards yesterday, and I was just like, you know, I just wanted to, because I haven't spent money on this stuff in years.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean... The answer to saving money is, like, just don't go to stores.
Yeah, don't go to stores.
Yeah, just, like, never go to stores and you have no excuse to buy anything.
Or if you do go to stores, find a way to bum money off of your friends.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
We're terrible people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of my time is just, like... I mean, it's getting easier and easier now that malls are becoming more and more of a, like, whoa, malls exist? There's fucking malls still?
Yeah. I went to the one near us, Chris, and I was just like, what? I was walking through it. I was walking through it, and it was so weird because, like, that's closed, that's closed, that's closed, that's closed.
They're waiting for everyone's contracts to end because they're officially, like, done. Like, they already sold it. It's going to be turned into, like, condos or something.
Yeah, they're already starting that.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking,
which is nice, because maybe we'll actually have a place to afford to live.
I ain't living in a condo. You think we could fucking talk this loud in a condo?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I did think about getting a condo at one point, and then I was just like, I can't live in a fucking condo.
I'm
I'm not a quiet enough person to... Actually, no. I am a quiet person literally 99% of the time.
And then you get
when I am... Yeah, but when I'm loud, I'm fucking super fucking loud. I am hear me from 2 roads over loud.
Yeah.
Besides, like, you can get like whole houses for like the same cost as condos if you're looking in the right areas. So it's like, whatever.
My cousin just bought I'm forming my words here.
Alright.
My brain's become mush this month.
My cousin has bought...
He bought land, and because, you know, they can't find a house they actually need that has what they need, so they're just gonna build a house. Okay, I'm glad you have the money for that, Mike.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And it was so funny.
Not cheap.
It's just so funny because he said that to me, and I looked at him, and I'm like, "Have fun being broke for the rest of your life." And he's just like, "See how true that is."
It depends on what kind of... I mean, if they can't find a house that has everything they need, that's not going to be a cheap house to build. But
no, because
technically, you could do it cheaply.
Because they're pregnant with their second child. And I'm like, yep, have fun having no money ever.
They're pregnant with a second child and they're building a house?
Yeah.
The fuck's he do for a living?
He works at a dealership. Car dealership.
I mean, that does pull in pretty decent cash, but still.
He doesn't just work at one, he's the finance guy at one.
Oh, yeah, that's...
So, you know when you go and buy a car, and, you talk to the dealer...
You're an asshole, I know how it works. Yeah, I'm well aware what his job is.
No, he's the one you sit down with to figure out if you actually have the money for it.
Yeah, he's the asshole.
Yeah.
Again, I know what his job is. It's not if you have the money for it, it's if they're willing to give you the money for it. That's not what... Yeah.
That's true. And it's just like, oh, okay, man.
If they wanted to, they could probably sell that car at half the price, still make all the money off of it.
Oh no, like that's a legit thing.
I hate car dealerships, so
yeah, I get it.
I have never bought a car from a dealership, and I never will, because every time I go to a dealership, I literally am contemplating murdering everyone in the building the whole time.
We went with one. I went to you with one.
Like the whole fucking time. Because it's like, this is the price of the car. You're telling me you can't knock this shit down $1,000.
Nope.
$1,000.
Absolutely not.
I'm like, the dude's... I'm like, it's scratched up, it's got dings, it's missing the fucking emblems, it's got tons of visual problems, and you're telling me you can't knock it down $1,000 fucking bucks. And you want to give me $200 for a trade-in on a fully working car that I could easily sell for $1,000.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving. Like, literally, every fucking time. I had to go with my buddy Trevor to a dealership. They let him drive the car off the lot. Told him he had it in the bag. And then when they went to go give him the finances on it, they're like, yeah, we're not going to give you that car because we feel like your finances aren't correct. They're like, dude, we literally already talked about this. You already said yes. You gave us the fucking keys to take it home for the weekend. It's already set up. Get the fucking paperwork. I was getting furious. They're like, oh, how about this car? Blah, blah, blah. Well, we could give it to you as a lease. And we're like,
Absolutely
we don't want to.
not.
I'm like, we don't want a fucking lease. He's like, blah, 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 talking. He's like, well, how about you could do it this car? And Trevor's looking at it, he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, is it a fucking lease? And he's like, yeah, it would be a lease. I'm like, he said he doesn't want a fucking lease. Like, at this point, I'm fucking mad.
Dude, I'm blame you. Car dealerships are very scummy sometimes.
Oh my god, they're the scummiest... The wretched hive of evil and villainy. Dude, like, honestly, when I go to a car dealership, I want to bring a gun and just lay it out on the fucking table and be like, we're gonna talk fucking business. Because that's the only fucking way these people will talk legit with you, is if they think they're in fucking danger.
I'm in danger!
I swear to god, I wish we had a fucking rule that was just like, walk into a dealership, plop a gun on a table like it's a third world country, and be like, so let's talk business, my dude. But,
Dude.
like, fuck, I hate dealerships,
I
man.
know.
I've never bought a car from a dealership, but every time I've gone to a dealership, I legitimately is like, I want to murder all of you. I don't think you understand how much your lives mean so little to me right now. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's the worst part about car dealerships is they get the cars,
yeah,
and it's double the price that they get them from.
Dude, they tried selling my buddy a lease car as a lease. Like, it was a car that was already leased, and he wanted to sell it to him as a lease, and I'm like, dude, go fuck yourself. I literally told him to go fuck himself. I'm like, dude, go fuck yourself, bring the car around, get the fucking paperwork. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Like,
so people know you don't ever get a lease.
No, never get a lease. Fucking ever. You only get a lease. There is reasons to get a lease. You get a lease if you're going to buy a really high-priced luxury car that you know is going to break down every 2 fucking days because they know they have to fix it for free.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you buy a lease. If you're getting a lease, you get a motherfucking Mercedes-Benz S-Class, the pinnacle of luxury, $100,000 car, lease it for like a couple $100 a week, and then fucking every time that shit breaks down, that $10,000 repair they have to fix for free.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you get a fucking lease. Outside of that, it's the biggest fucking... Because that was the first thing my buddy Trevor said. He's like, leases are scams. And the guy is like, how are leases scams? He's like, I'm not having this fucking conversation with you. You know it's a fucking scam. We're not having this fucking argument. Get me my fucking car. Like, we've already discussed this. We already agreed on the car. We already agreed on the price. Bring in the fucking car and get me the fucking paperwork. Like,
yeah.
Like, this is already agreed. It's not like we strolled in and we're like, this is what we want and we take... They already fucking told us what we could have. And then we go in there and they're like, oh, you can't afford this now. We've changed the numbers. Here's a different fucking car. No. That's not how that fucking works. It was already agreed upon. Get the fucking paperwork.
Yeah, don't circle jerk me.
Oh my god. We ended up finally negotiating a deal that was decent. Because he was like, they were like, oh, to give it to you on a credit card, and Trevor's like, fine. He's like, because I'll just fucking pay the credit card off immediately, and then I won't have to worry about the interest on it. It won't fucking matter. So who cares? As long as they get it, it's fine. It's a reasonable price, it's fine. I don't care. And he goes back in, they changed the price again. They increased it again. They sent him paperwork to his house. While he was working for his girlfriend to check over. And they changed the number on the paperwork they fucking sent him! And then he went back and they changed the numbers again, and at that point he just said, fuck it, I don't care, and left. Like, you can keep the fucking car, you're all a bunch of fucking cocksucking bitches. Like, fuck you guys.
That dealership sounds really shady.
Oh my god, yeah.
Even more than most dealerships.
Yeah, like, literally every dealership was shady. You wanna know what's the worst part? The shady dealerships are easier because they're just willing to get rid of the fucking cars as fast as possible.
Yeah. Like, that one sounds like really like, are you really messing with us for no reason here?
Like, clearly what happened is they financed it to him, and then the guy went, and then the dude who financed it probably didn't take in consideration, like, a certain aspect of his credit or income or something.
Or maybe they found a different buyer who was willing to pay more.
Yeah, or
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, honestly. And then fucking, like... And it's, like, just a fucking pain in the ass. At least, like, shady dealerships, man, you just walk in, they got, like, 10 fucking cars on the lot, and you're like, I want that one.
$3,000 like, cash!
Yeah, and you're like, cool. You just leave. That's what he ended up doing. I mean, it wasn't that small or that shady of a place, but that's essentially what he ended up doing. He just went to another dealership and was like, I want this one. And they were like, cool, here's the paperwork for it.
Yeah, the one you went to sounds like the worst experience I've ever heard of.
Every dealership I go to, I swear to God, it's always like that.
Yeah. Like, that sounds worse than most of the ones I go to.
Dude, honestly. No, that one was worse than normal. Like, the fact that he had to go there 4 fucking times.
Yeah. Like,
is
the one
ridiculous.
I went to, it's because it's a big name brand one.
Yeah.
And that's why they can't do that type of stuff at that one. Because it would tarnish the whole brand, and then the big company comes after that small thing, and everybody loses their job there.
Yeah.
So they can't do that there.
No, I mean, it was a a big one. I think it was an official fucking dealership.
Oh.
I think it was an official, like, Subaru dealership or something.
Oh, Subaru.
Or Hyundai or something. I can't remember which dealership it was, but I know it was an official dealership. Was it Toyota? It might have been Toyota. See, I can't remember.
Because you were that angry.
I was so mad that the only thing I remember is wanting to murder these fuckers in this fucking room. Because I went there because we were like, oh, I just finish up the paperwork, I get the keys, and then we can go hang out. And I was like, alright, cool. Fucking, they made us sit. No, they made us sit in the waiting area for fucking, like, 45 fucking minutes before someone even came over to fucking talk to us.
Okay.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah, no, this one sounds terrible.
So at this point, by the time he opened his fucking mouth, I was already ready to punch him in his fucking dick.
Yeah, no, this sounds like the worst experience.
Yeah, and then he's like, so we redid the numbers, and we don't think that car is going to be well off. We're going to need to rediscuss. How about this car instead? And at this point, I was like, I'm going to fucking kill you with my bare hands. I'm going to fucking murder you with my bare hands, and I'm going to feel nothing while I do it.
Yeah, no, this sounds like the worst experience I've ever heard of at a car dealership.
Oh my god, it was the worst. They wanted to fight with us over fucking... that leases aren't scams, and I'm like, dude, you're here to sell a fucking car, not argue with your fucking customers.
I would have just, like, as soon as they said we're going to renegotiate, I would have been like, okay,
we were stuck there because we took the fucking car. You know, that wasn't paperwork finished there, because he was allowed to take it for the weekend to drive it around, because it was a sure deal.
No, this sounds really shady to me.
Which is also illegal, by the way. They're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to let you take the car off the lot to fucking have it for a couple days. That's illegal, because technically it's not registered or anything. If he gets pulled over, then he can get in trouble for that, but then he can get the company in trouble for giving him a car that doesn't have the proper paperwork. They're not fucking smart, clearly.
Yeah, no, this place sounded really shady.
Oh, man. Anyways.
Well, on that note...
We'll
talk about something else.
Yeah.
So we don't get angry about this
Yeah,
anymore.
in the next part, we'll see you guys then. Peace.